Keiko walks along the edge of the street. The city has begun its evening silence. Ahead, a bookshop stands shuttered, its metal gate pulled halfway down. Inside, a single lamp glows on a low table. Two reading chairs sit empty, their cushions smooth. The light falls across the armrests and onto the floor. Keiko slows her steps. She sees the shapes of shelves in the darkness beyond the lamp. No one moves inside. The warmth stays trapped behind glass. She continues walking, leaving the quiet glow behind her. The street opens into a small plaza. Keiko steps onto the wet pavement. Metal tables have been stacked against the wall, 3 on top of 3. Umbrellas lean folded in the corner, their fabric tied with loops of cord. Chairs hang from hooks above the stack. A faint smell of coffee lingers. The tables are dry underneath, protected from the evening mist. Keiko sits on the low wall and watches water collect in the spaces between paving stones. No voices remain. The plaza holds only furniture and echoes of motion. The wetness reflects a single street lamp from somewhere unseen. Keiko finds a ticket booth beside an empty walkway. The window is closed with a metal shutter. A handwritten sign hangs crooked behind the glass. Queue ropes have been coiled and hung on a post beside the booth. Their velvet covering is worn smooth. Keiko sits facing the shuttered window. She can see her reflection in the metal, faint and blurred. The booth smells of paper and coin. A single overhead light hums softly. The pavement is swept clean. She imagines hands that sorted tickets and made change. Now the space holds nothing but equipment stored away. She does not move for a long time. Keiko sits on the sidewalk outside a bakery. Through the window, she sees a figure moving inside. The person wears an apron and moves between counters. They reach up and turn off a row of lights above the ovens. The display case stands empty, its shelves wiped clean. The figure checks the door of the case, then disappears into a back room. One light remains. Then it too goes dark. Keiko watches the window become a mirror. The warmth that filled the shop all day has begun to fade. She can still smell bread, faint and sweet. The street is darker now. The playground is small, pressed between 2 buildings. 2 swings hang from a metal frame, their chains perfectly still. Keiko approaches the sandbox. The sand has been raked smooth, every footprint erased. A rake leans against the wire fence, its handle worn pale. She steps to the edge of the sandbox and sniffs the cool sand. It smells of dust and rain. The swings do not creak. No laughter remains. A street lamp from the next block casts faint light across the equipment. Keiko walks the perimeter slowly. The playground has been returned to waiting. She does not disturb it. Keiko enters the parking lot. Painted white lines mark spaces in rows across the asphalt. Every space is empty. A tall street light stands in the center, casting a wide circle of pale light. She walks along one of the lines, placing her paws carefully. The asphalt is cool and slightly damp. Oil stains mark where cars once parked. She can hear the hum of the streetlight above. Nothing else. The lot extends to a low wall at the far end. She crosses the painted lines one by one. The emptiness feels vast. Her steps make no sound. She continues until she reaches the wall and stops. Keiko climbs onto a metal railing. Below her, a loading dock extends into shadow. The platform is empty, its concrete swept clean. Delivery crates that filled the space during the day have been carried away. A rolling door is pulled down and locked. A security light fixed to the wall casts yellow light across the empty platform. Keiko sits on the railing and looks down. She sees the faint marks where crates were stacked. The air smells of cardboard and diesel. No trucks remain. The dock waits for morning. She tucks her paws beneath her and watches the stillness settle. The bus shelter stands at the edge of the street. Keiko sits on the curb outside. The shelter has transparent panels and a metal roof. Inside, a bench is bolted to the ground. A timetable poster hangs on the back wall, its edges curling. No one waits. The pavement beneath the shelter is dry. Outside, the street is wet from earlier rain. Keiko looks at the empty bench. She imagines people sitting, standing, checking the time. Now the shelter holds only air and light from a distant lamp. The glass reflects nothing. She stays on the curb, watching the empty space. Keiko finds a stairwell at the edge of a building. The stairs rise into darkness above. Beneath the lowest step, there is a sheltered alcove. The ground is smooth concrete. Shadows from the stair structure fall across the space. Keiko enters the alcove and sits. The air is still here. No wind reaches this corner. A faint glow from a distant streetlight barely touches the edges of the space. She smells concrete and old metal. The day has ended completely in this place. No motion remains. She settles onto her stomach and rests her chin on her paws. The emptiness feels permanent and safe. Keiko curls into herself. Her tail wraps around her body. She closes her eyes slowly. The stairwell holds her without sound. The concrete beneath her has cooled to match the night. Above, the city continues in whispers she no longer hears. Here, beneath the steps, the work of the day has finished. Nothing waits to be done. She breathes quietly. Her body relaxes into the stillness. The space around her feels complete. She does not need to move. The night deepens. She rests.